Hello there everybody and welcome back to another Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes video. Now today we're going to be talking about the top 10 solo characters in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. Now these characters are extremely important if you want to climb in GAC. That's how I got to where I am in GAC. I utilized a lot of my solo characters that I had sitting on my roster, and they really can help you just improve in the game overall. You can add them to some other teams, make the other teams really, really great. There's a lot of uses for them. They're really, really important, and these are things you should absolutely do on your account at some point in the future. At some point, hopefully near future, but some point in the future, you should get some solo characters if you do not already, and we will explain why in this video. So if this is first time here, you want to drop a like and subscribe. If you want to see more content just like this, that would be greatly appreciated. I also do suffer a lot on this channel, so if you want to see me suffer, I do that a lot. So hopefully I'll see you around again sometime really soon. But before we get too far into this, I do need to say that this is a subjective list, and sure, I try to do a number 1 through 10, but again, this is not really a definitive list, I would say. I'm kind of just going to go through and explain most of the characters in a general order. Sure, maybe 1 or 2 characters may be flipped around, and as you'll see, there's a few characters on here that I don't have. So hopefully you can forgive me if I miss 1 or 2 things about those characters, but overall, I can explain what I mean by these characters in this video. So, well, I guess without any further ado, let's get right into this, shall we? So at the bottom here, I do need to mention some honorable mentions, obviously. Well, right here we have Qui-Gon Jinn, who is not quite a solo character. Now, Jedi Knight Anakin, you need relics for a few different things. So if you have a Jedi Knight Anakin relic, getting Qui-Gon Jinn's Omicron is one quick, easy upgrade you can get to get a full team out of this right here. Qui-Gon Jinn's Omicron basically makes Anakin a god. It's based off of his speed, offense, and whatever. And I need to put that mod back on. Thank you for reminding me. But basically, together these two as a combo with the overpowered assault, Qui-Gon Jinn's Omicron becomes insane. You can take out entire teams with just this one ability. As soon as Qui-Gon dies, enemy team gets nuked out. Well, as long as you play your cards right and you mod correctly and all that kind of stuff. But superpowered team, but not quite as solo. It's just one really easy upgrade you can do to get, a really, really good team out of it. Another thing is Darth Sidious. If you are a kind of casual player and you've seen people take Darth Sidious in as a solo character and take out Sith Eternals and Galactic Legends, I've done this many times myself in these last few months. You can't do that anymore. That was a Datacron, and that Datacron just went away. So, Sidious, my beloved, he's gone. And I miss it. I miss it so much. This last few GACs I've been playing without him, I've missed him so much. I really hope we get that back in some Omicron or bring back the Datacron. I don't know. I miss him. I miss him so much, man. It was such a great Datacron. But you can no longer do this. If this was a solo character list like a month ago, probably would be number 2. Number 1 or number 2, number 3 in that area. That's how insane that was. Not anymore. You can't do that anymore. So, getting into our official top 10 here, we have CLS. Now, this is a interesting one, and I understand most of you will disagree with this, and there's a reason he's at the bottom of this list. CLS, I would not recommend taking CLS against a fully relict team on offense. Absolutely not. Not a great idea at all. However, CLS, if you place him his CLS team on defense, and you leave CLS as the last man standing, especially if you're using Savage or something, he can run the clock out. He can mess you up. If you're using a Savage solo versus CLS, and the CLS is on defense, and you leave CLS until last, he can win. He can win. I would not recommend doing this on offense. I have not tested this in like Squad Arena or something. All my Squad Arena is just GLs anyways, so I've not tested this on offense or anything like that. I would not recommend necessarily doing that. There's a reason he's at the bottom of this list. Not necessarily a solo character, but when he is a solo character, he can work for you. Someone had to be last on this list, and I want to just mention this. It's kind of hard to find 10 solo characters in this game. I'm gonna be honest with you. 10 consistent solo characters in this game, kind of hard to find. This was something that I could kind of spin to make it a solo character. Not really, though. Next up, we also have another Luke, Jedi Knight Luke. this is something I've just discovered researching this video, that apparently Jedi Knight Luke actually can be a solo character, which kind of makes sense. He's got a mass stun, and he's got, as long as he doesn't get dazed, you can do a lot of counterattack and all that kind of stuff. So apparently, this can be a solo character. I do not have this character. This is something I just learned for this video, so I'm not super familiar with what scenarios this would be doable in, but I know from what I've seen, he's probably going to be a better solo than CLS. Obviously, again, CLS is kind of, if he's the last man standing. Jedi Knight Luke, you can take it as a proper solo from time to time. Next up, we have Ahsoka Tano Fulcrum. Ahsoka Tano Fulcrum is not a GAC solo. Ahsoka Tano Fulcrum will fall into an UFU team once you get like Malicos and Seer and all that kind of stuff. But basically, her Territory War Omicron is comparable to Wampa's Omicron, but it's for Territory Wars, and they do different things, obviously, but they're comparable in the sense that it kind of just transforms the character into a solo legend. A lot of, basically, bigger words, better person. That's kind of what the thing is for when it comes to Galaxy of Heroes upgrades. The bigger the text, the better the ability most of the time. That's kind of the rule of thumb, right? I kind of put it this low because, I mean, we care about GAC, right? She's not GAC solo viable. She's Territory War solo viable. So just got to keep that in mind when you go for this character. Next up, we have Emphas Nest. Emphas Nest has kind of fallen out of favor for a lot of people. She can do a lot of stacking. What is it? Her health percent? Is that what it is? Where is it? Where's her solo thing? I think it's in here. So if we take 80% counter chance, so the counter chance always is great when it comes to solo characters. When she's damaged by attack, she gains 30% crit chance and 40% bonus protection. Stacking. The stacking bonus protection makes her annoying to kill. Really, really annoying to kill. As well as 30% critical chance. And this bonus protection increases by an additional 40% each time. So not only are you stacking more bonus protection, but you're also getting more bonus protection per stack, I guess. So really, really can be annoying to kill. She also goes great on like a dash team, stuff like that. She can do a lot of nice things for you. But again, she is kind of falling out of favor for a lot of people, especially in the higher end of the game. However, if you're Carbonite, Bronzium, a lot of these characters are going to do great things for you. Don't really necessarily worry too much about that, but when we're talking Kyber levels and you're starting to see, oh, I can't really win with this anymore, that's kind of like your indicator that they're starting to fall off. But again, that's very late game, so if you're early game, you don't have to worry about that necessarily just yet, and it is still worth upgrading. Now, next up, we have Kylo Ren. Now, Kylo Ren can do a lot for me. Try and use him every GAC. I like using him as a solo with Wat Tambor. Now, Kylo Ren can be a solo character if you apply his Outrage Zeta. 50% damage and recover protection equal to the damage dealt. That's the key part. Recover protection. Recover protection keeps him alive. Now, if you use the Lash Out here, you can kind of regain a little bit. Deal physical damage to all enemies and gain retribution for 2 turns. This attack can't critically hit and deals bonus damage equals to 50% of Kylo Ren's critical damage. First order allies and allies with advantage gain 25% turn meter. So there's more turn meter with that. So you can go again and again and again if you need to. And again, recovering protection. Wat Tambor is here to save you a Zeta. If you have Wat Tambor in your roster, just not doing anything, use Wat Tambor with your Kylo Ren and just save yourself the Zeta. That's what I do. This is my GAC team, but you can do this solo. Specifically, works great against like Old Republic teams. Karth. I've done this against Ewoks before. A few other teams like that. Basically, with Wat Tambor, how this works is you take his tank tech. Is the protection tank tech. That's what you need. Back towards shield generator. At the start of his turn, recover 30% protection and dispel his own debuffs. Tanks taunt while they have their protection. I have my Wat Tambor upgraded a bit so that I can survive a few hits and I can start using his basic more on Kylo Ren. Because if I can use my basic on Kylo Ren, get that health back going, really just want to use Wat Tambor to make sure Kylo can stay alive, recovering protection, recovering health, all that kind of stuff. And this really can do a lot of things for you. I was really surprised to learn that this was a thing that worked. And Wat Tambor basically just saved me a Zeta. Now, I do have a Zeta on Watambor, but eventually I was going to apply that anyway, so it's kind of a trade-off. You need the Zeta on Watambor, you need the Zeta on Kylo Ren. Actually, I don't even remember what his Zeta is. If it's mass manufactured, obviously you need it. I feel like it is. I don't know. This is a pretty great team if you haven't already capitalized it, especially with Lightspeed bundles. This is a super great, accessible solo character. Next up, we have Darth Vader. Now, Darth Vader is kind of the GOAT. Right now with Datacrons, I know there's a lot of cheese you can do with the Datacrons and make Darth Vader really, really insane again. Like pre-Nerf 2021 insane again. I know that's a thing. But with Darth Vader on his own, you can still do things. Specifically, every single time I see Geos on defense, which still happens in Kyber, by the way. Geos, I know people don't like them and that they fall off. But if they fall off and they're not good, why do you keep placing them on defense? And why are they still annoying, right? Geos you'll see on defense for a long, long time, basically no matter where you are in the game. I've been in Kyber 3, it kind of got knocked back to Kyber 4, but I was still seeing Geos on defense in Kyber 3. So, Darth Vader against Geos is like solid, a really great team. He can be solo, especially against low gear Geos and stuff like that. However, this is another one that's got a little asterisk next to it. This is the team I run for my Vader solo. As you can tell, it is not solo. But if you get all the Zetas and all that kind of stuff, you can see through his no escape that at the start of each encounter, Darth Vader gains 8 speed until the end of the encounter for each following: Empire ally, Sith ally, Jedi enemy, and Rebel enemy. So, when you're going against Geos, making sure you have Empires and Sith will really help you take more turns. And when you're facing Relic Geos and Kyber, you kind of need turns, right? So, what I use is I use Thrawn. Thrawn can pass turns, more turns back to Vader, and also fracture the summon if you can't kill the summon just off rip. If it's too high level, you can fracture the summon. Short Trooper, pre-taunt tank. Royal Guard has a taunt ability, kind of can heal up a little bit, health protection, all that kind of stuff. Really kind of helps you stay alive a little bit longer. And Moff Gideon just gets, or not Moff Gideon, sorry. Grand Moff Tarkin just helps get more debuffs out on the field. So, you really want to be putting more dots out there for Darth Vader to be doing more damage and hitting every enemy with Merciless Massacre Zeta, and using that lightsaber throw to finish off that GBA or Poggle the Lesser. Those are the two most high value targets when I go for Geos, is Poggle and GBA. Poggle because of ability block. Now, outside of that ability block, Poggle is really not an issue really at all. However, when your Geos mass swarm your Vader, and your Vader gets ability blocked, and then they do it again, and then they do it again, and then it's Vader's turn, and he's like in the red, and you don't have Merciless Massacre, you're done. You're done. You've lost the battle. If Poggle ability blocks Vader, you basically lost the battle, unless they're a really bad Geo team. So you gotta be really, really careful about Poggle. GBA, obviously the leader, the summons, and all that kind of stuff, that makes complete sense. But Poggle is really, really annoying, and I have to stress that because I hear people talk about this team a lot, and everyone underestimates Poggle. If you're taking in Vader against Poggle, and you get ability blocked every turn, you will lose. You need that Merciless Massacre to win. So, just very, very important to make sure you keep an eye on that Poggle. Next up, we have SWGOH. Now, SWGOH is a pretty great solo character. Throw that Omicron on him, and he basically becomes one of the best solo characters in the game. Again, more words, better person. That's what we say here. More words, better person. As you can see, this is all basically the text behind me here. This is all an Omicron right here. That's just pretty great. So, you could throw him with the Traya team. You could throw him against CLS teams as a solo. I mean, you could throw him against Ewok. He can basically do everything that Kylo Ren can do that we talked about earlier, but better and more consistently, plus CLS. And having CLS as one of your counters that you can do in your back pocket, it's pretty great with this guy. I do really, really like him. One of my favorite solo characters in the game, and I always, always, always recommend people get your SWGOH Press early on in your Galaxy of Heroes gaming experience because he is one of those characters. It's one character. You can upgrade one character, you will instantly become better in GAC. He's one of those characters. Upgrade this guy, you will instantly be better. It just works like that. Make sure you dial in on the mods and get the Omicron and all that kind of stuff. But really, really great character. Next up, we have Malik. Now, Malik is a tricky one because when Malik solos, he can solo things like Padme. He can do really, really great things for you. He's really, really annoying. Great tank character, but obviously I do not have him yet, and I really, really want him. But when you get Malik, he goes in so many different places that it's kind of hard to stick him as a solo unless you really need him to be. He goes on a Darth Revan team. Obviously, in Sith Empire team in general, Revan or Malgus. He can go on a Sith Eternal team, and Sith Eternal with Malik is really, really great in Proving Grounds. So that's something else that you want to think about when getting this character. I've seen so many people just leave their Sith Empire, and specifically Malik, on their roster in favor of a Relic HK. Why? Why are we doing this? In 2024, you're relicking your HK and leaving your Malik. Why are we doing this? Now, I like recommending people to get Darth Malik to like Relic 8. I think it's a really, really great tank character. I mean, he is a tank character. He's a great tank character. And he does really, really great on this team. He's really, really annoying to kill if you do not have the right tools to take care of him. And honestly, pretty scary. He'd be pretty scary. He goes so many different places, does a lot of different things. He's one of the, I would say he's a pretty great plug-and-play tank. Now, I don't know if I'd throw him in any team, but like, you can throw him in a lot of teams and that team will become better. And he can do solo things as well on his own. So, Darth Malik, right there. Up next, we have Wampa. I have Wampa at the top. And I know this might be a controversial opinion, but I have Wampa at the top because Wampa is literally the definition of a Galaxy of Heroes solo. When I think of a solo character, I think of Wampa. Wampa is literally the #1 best pick, best put together solo character. And what I mean by that is Wampa doesn't have a team. Everyone else here on this list can fit into a team somewhere or has their own team. Even Darth Sidious now. Darth Sidious, now that we have him relicked, throw him with Bane. Just let him die. He has a team now. But this guy, Wampa, oops, I spoiled all that. Wampa right here, he or she specifically does not go anywhere. She is on her own entirely. She has no team. She has just some Zetas, some and an Omicron that really just turned her into a Grand Arena God. You could take out so many things. I specifically use her for Iden and General Grievous all the time, but you could take out a lot more with that. I think you take out Mon Mothma. If you have a really good Wampa, you could take out Sith Eternal. That's if you have a really, really good Wampa. Again, more words, better person, and Wampa has a lot of words in that Omicron. Seriously, if you do not have Wampa upgraded at some point in your roster, if you don't have your Wampa upgraded at this point, like right now as you're watching this video and you're like a late game account, Wampa is so great. Wampa, there's a myth going around that Wampa is kind of falling off. No, the Wampa is not falling off. I would disagree. Now, when I say I disagree, but hear me out. The reason people say that Wampa is kind of falling off is one, you need a higher level of investment into your Wampa. I'm in Kyber 4. I need to upgrade my Wampa mods a little bit. She's kind of slow. Let me show you. She's a little too slow. I've modded her one time. I upgraded her, modded her, haven't touched her mod since, and I've been winning almost every battle I've taken her in against. But that's the thing, is it's almost. I need this to be 100%. So I need to rework my Wampa slightly, make her a bit faster, maybe more protection and stuff like that. But overall, the issue is that a lot of people stop placing Wampable teams on defense because people know that you'll just Wampa them, right? People won't just place, you'll see, I guess I should say, they won't, not that they won't, but you'll see less often people just place General Grievous on defense. You'll see Iden on the back wall because they're trying to bait you into using your Wampa already. Stuff like that. People will do things to make sure their defense isn't Wampable or attempt to be Wampable, but still, you can find so many uses for Wampa. Even when you're trying, even when people are trying not to have Wampable things on their defense, there's still something you can use Wampa on. That's how great she is. And the top spot in this list is SLKR or a Galactic Legend. Galactic Legends are solo characters, and I feel like not putting a Galactic Legend on the top would just I would just say, oh, the Galactic Legends are on top. Now, the Galactic Legends are on top. I have SLKR. I have the most use and experience with SLKR as a solo, so I put SLKR as my example. But you could do a few other Galactic Legends, I believe. I think, let me see. I've seen people say you can use, I think it was, who was it? It was Lord Vader as a solo. Sith Eternals, obviously, you can use as a solo as well. I want to say Leia or Jedi Master Luke, I think, maybe. But I know Sith Eternal and SLKR are like the two most common solos that I've seen. Again, I just put SLKR because that's who I have and I can speak on. SLKR is really, really great. I mean, you can use the ult from 60% to 100%, depending on what you really need in the battle to get that damage unity or how much damage you really need. Obviously, that makes sense. The Stasis Strike is a really, really, really great ability that makes you keep chugging along. You can just shut down any team, really. You take out one core character, make them stun locked if you can, and you can do a lot of work with this stun lock ability. That's really one of the most important things, I think, whenever I use SLKR, is that getting that stun lock on whoever I need to. Whenever I go in against Jedi Master Kenobi, and I'm using my First Order TIE Pilot Omicron, I make sure that I keep Stasising Strike Cat, because Cat is really, really annoying. You want to make sure that you get Cat out, right? So I just keep stun locking her, and they can't do anything, and they just eventually all shut down. I just shut down the entire team. Now that's just one example, and that's with a full team, obviously, but SLKR just in general can do a lot of great things as a solo character. And again, same thing for Sith Eternal. The Galactic Legends are really great characters, obviously, because they are Galactic Legends. But again, I just am speaking on SLKR because I have the most experience with SLKR. But that is our top 10 solo characters. What did I do wrong? Because I'm sure someone is going to point that out to me in the comment section down below. So maybe they'll add more solo characters that I haven't added to this list. Maybe they'll put it in a different order. I'm not sure. Check out the comment section and see what people are saying about this. And let's use this as a resource for more people to be able to use more solo characters in this game. Because these are some of the most important teams you'll ever use in Galaxy of Heroes in Grand Arena. Because of the banners, because of how easy they are to upgrade, accessibility, and so many ways to use these characters. So many ways to use them. They're really, really important. But thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure you drop a like and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next video.